how important is it basically to save for taxes? I want everybody to understand this. This is why I have my main man, my main CPA here to talk to the youth. They need to be financially literate. We're just going to freestyle here. So basically, what should the parents teach their young about taxes?
First of all, they probably should teach them how to, well, no one bans a checkbook anymore, right? No one has that anymore. Check your account. I do that very often because the last thing I want is somebody taking my money.
And
So,
yes,
like, a la Usain Bolt. Anyway, I don't know. That's another conversation.
That's another conversation.
But yeah, basically, teach them how to save, right? Saving is important. Although investing is probably equal or more important because, having the money sitting in an account getting less than 1% is not going to get you anywhere.
Exactly.
So that's something that they need to know. Find something that you're passionate about and start a business based on that. My son, who's just 21, speaking about the youth, he started a brand. And he's making hooded sweatshirts, and he has the mind of a designer, slash this, slash that, slash whatever. I got a bunch of things that he's doing. But if you're a creative, and I encourage people to do that, right? Because the old routine, you saw what happened in the pandemic. People left jobs in droves, and now people are trying to like do their own thing, whether it's driving.
There are real jobs that they really want to do. They're passionate about.
That's
right.
Actually
striking out basically go do that.
That's right. And then you gotta know that be prepared for taxes. Be prepared to put some money aside. Well, if you're an employee, all right. If your child is an employee, just like if they had a summer job, they may have to pay some tax. Most likely not, but they may. One thing you could do if you're a parent and you're you could employ your child in your business, depending on the structure of your business. That's another conversation too. We can elaborate on that another day. But but I'd say basically, if I had to sum it up, saving, investing, and preparing to start paying taxes throughout your life, and then you'll hook up with someone like myself who is astute. I'd like to think so, right, Evans?
Yes.
That will help you to save on taxes and maximize the rule legally to your favor. So always check with your tax advisor, guys, parents and children alike, so you get the right advice to avoid you from getting jammed up.
You don't want those handcuffs.
That's right.
You don't want those kind of handcuffs.
That's right.
One of the things I want to leave people with is pretty much start your kids young with this stuff. Very young. As soon as they're able to know what a dollar is, when they can read and write. Start showing them about finances. Basically, here's what we do: we save. You get your allowance. You're going to put some of this in the bank. Open up a bank account for them if you can. Make them start learning. They can't be afraid of money. They have to understand how to make money work for them.
Think about getting property early.
Yes.
Yeah. Think about getting, life insurance, stuff like that. So those things are, especially in our community events, those things are very lacking. So
yeah, we don't talk about this stuff. Unfortunately, we don't talk about this, and I'm making this a mission. I'm gathering all the top professionals, just like Mr. Scully over here. You know what? Let's put this out there so people understand. You know what? This is nothing for us to be embarrassed about. Let's have these conversations. My counterparts in different backgrounds, they have these conversations a lot. Me growing up, we didn't have these conversations. We never talked about money. And I want to make sure that the next generation or the current generation, anybody who's watching this now, have these conversations with your parents. We should not be ashamed to have these conversations. The only way you're going to learn is basically if we have these conversations. And you know what? You're going to learn and you're going to teach the next generation, follow the generation afterwards.
And it's going to make everyone better in the long run, So, yep.
All right. So don't be afraid to ask questions. If you don't have the resources, there's the internet. You can always reach out to a professional such as myself or Mr. Scully. Reach out to somebody who's an expert in that field. Yeah.
But I'd say use the internet sparingly. Just take a sense. Don't take it. Don't the Twitterverse and the Instagramverse. There's a lot of mucky stuff out there. So, use it as a baseline to get a basic understanding of something. But don't take what they say. Take it with a grain of salt. Exactly.
Yeah. Don't take it as gospel.
I just say that. Yeah. Exactly.
Find the professionals you need to find. Have a conversation. Pick up that phone. Call them up. Ask them questions. Meet face to face, belly to belly. Or do a Zoom with them, have a conversation. If you want to do something with your kids to find, just to get them on the right track, then I would suggest you meet with a professional such as Mr. Scully right there, have a conversation, and teach your kids basically everything right then and there, and they can see for themselves, and they're hearing this, and so they can do the same thing for their next generation coming up. Mrs. Scully, you're going to have the last word here, basically. What's the word of encouragement that you can say to the parents, the kids, whoever's watching this?
Yeah, I mean, like you said, I think you summed it up perfectly, Evans. Just you educate yourself as a parent. If you're not educated on things, it's your duty, I'd say, to get yourself up to speed so you can then impart knowledge. Don't rely on school only to do that for you, because that's not going to happen. I don't think there are many financial literacy courses being taught in school. Otherwise, probably wouldn't be having this conversation now. It's just not a big thing, right? Even accounting, most people don't ever get introduced. Not to say everyone's going to be an accountant, but it's really accounting is really the backbone of business. Really, think about it,
Yes.
So, but it's not really taught until you get sometimes to college. So, and those things are some of the foundation principles in accounting, are really, really powerful. And but again, not everyone has to be an accountant, but you should understand certain basics. Again, how to, we don't balance checkbooks anymore, but keeping an eye on your account, making sure that the money that you put in there is still there when you need it, thinking about, long-term goals, stuff like owning property, thinking
properties
about
with an S,
properties.
Multiple properties.
I start with one, but ultimately
yes.
it will be to have multiple. Having a savings to, if something happens down the line, you have 6 months of savings, in your account that can hold you over if you lose your job or something like that. So, and this goes for, again, not so much for the younger kids, but for kids, a person that's 20 years old who's working, he's still a kid, technically, even though he's considered an adult. But they say there's a study that says that you don't really your brain doesn't really mature until you're 30. So if you think about it from that point of view, a person that's 20 is still pretty young. So they need to get proper advice. And I see a lot of people get jammed up that way, Evans. They, for example, start a business, have no clue what they're doing.
Yes.
They're in a muck. So you don't want that to happen. So educate yourself, impart the knowledge on your kids who are of age. Yeah, start reading some books, reading. I have a really cool book, a book called The Power of Zero by David McKnight. It's my favorite. I'd say it's my favorite non-fiction book. I mean, I'm not really a fiction fan, but as far as books go, this is my favorite book. It's The Power of Zero by David McKnight. I say go pick up that book. It's all about how to have a tax-free retirement. So stuff like that. Go read those things, parents, and impart the knowledge on your kids in bits and pieces. You don't have to give them everything all at once, but as they're growing, you can start spoon feeding them a little at a time. So
and the beautiful thing that you mentioned, there's books, there's libraries out there. People can go back to the library and pick up books. You have Amazon, you have access on your phone. You can actually download books on your phone, listen to the audio, listen to that in the car instead of listening to music, listen to that in the car with the kids.
Couldn't you, I don't know if because I know the library's gotten up to speed with technology too. I think you could probably get ebooks through the library too, I believe.
I believe so. It depends on where you are, what city you are, what state, but there's access.
Right.
If you need to find books, you'll find them.
Sure.
There's access. You have Amazon, you have different access. You have Apple, you have all kinds of stuff. You figure it out, but the tools are out there.
There's Google searching, you could find good articles and stuff too, but again, make sure it's from a reputable source, like a CP or a financial advisor, someone reputable, not just some fly-by-night person who's probably a part-time, no offense against barbers, but part-time barber and at night he's giving tax advice or financial advice. You don't want to do that unless unless he has both designations. That's
check the credentials. Whoever you're working with, check the credentials.
That's right. And there are ways to do that too, to check people. I mean, the internet is such a powerful tool, man. I mean, you can use it for bad for sure, but you definitely some good things out there. If you want to verify someone's CPA license, you can do that. If you want to verify Evantz's license, you can do that too. So there's no excuse for someone getting quote unquote duped, if the information is out there. So I don't know if that sums it up. That's kind of like a big summation, right? But
but I think they got enough information. If they want any more details, they know how to reach us. Feel free to like, share, subscribe. We're gonna have a lot more videos coming out. If you have a specific topic that you want us to answer, or you want Mr. Scully to answer, feel free to leave the comments below. Let us know what you want to hear, what you want to learn more about. We're gonna be making more videos about whatever the topics are that you want.
Yeah, I want
And
to talk at some point. I want to talk about Usain Bolt because that's just crazy, man. We'll talk about that one day, you know.
we'll talk about any topic that everybody's comfortable listening to. Basically, if they're willing to listen to us, basically, we'll talk about it.
Sure.
All right. On
That
that note,
stuff is
guys,
crazy though, right? It's kind of crazy.
there's a lot of crazy stuff going on in the world right now. It's like I don't even want to get into everything right now, but I just want to let's
we'll be here for days, Evans, to do it.
Exactly. Let's end it right here. It's kind of cold in my office right now, so you're gonna start seeing my breath in a minute. Anyway, guys, let's wrap it up by just saying, whatever you're doing, talk to the right professionals. You know how to find the right professionals. You have to feel comfortable, basically, that you're getting the best knowledge possible. You feel comfortable they're explaining everything to you, and number 3, that you're comfortable, period. If you're not comfortable, then that's not the right person you should be working with.
That's right.
And like Mr. Scully said, do your research on that person to find out their credentials. You can also ask that professional for the credentials. If they can't produce that for you, then next. The word is next.
That's right.
All right, guys.
Okay.
That's all I got for you. Enjoy your day, your night. Peace out.